Welcome to 5 Star Weekly. A big opportunity to get 3 points this weekend. How do the boys feel about new boy Alexey Miranchuk? We get into all that and more coming up. Before we get into it, become part of the notification squad by hitting the bell next to the subscribe button on YouTube. Welcome to the show, 5 Star fam. I'm AJ, and Atlanta United have been on an international break with a few players away on international duty. But before we get into the news and preview, let's give some shouts outs to our loyal Patreon members, and specifically major shouts out to Gavin, Jordan, Niall, Andrew, and Chris. You guys are legends. But yeah, let's get into the news. And Alexey Miranchuk, he stepped foot for the first time at the Benz, and he was saying, "Is this real?" He was completely in awe. I mean, yeah, the Benz does have that effect on you, and I can't wait for him to see it when fans are actually in it. Hopefully when it's actually full. And yeah, you know, when we're chanting, and hopefully that's this weekend. You know, hopefully there's enough hype for it, for you know, for the fans to get out to the stadium. But yeah, hopefully, you know, he will be able to net a goal, maybe get an assist. Who knows? But yeah, he definitely seemed excited about it in a social media post posted by Atlanta United. Lost for words there. But yeah, so next bit of news, Saba Latsanidze, he didn't play in Georgia's 1-0 win over Albania in the UEFA Nations League. And Luis Abram, he didn't play in Peru's 1-0 loss to Ecuador in the CONMEBOL World Cup qualifying. So yeah, our boys that were out on international duty didn't play. They come back healthy. No complaints. So all good there. But yeah, next bit of news is Brooks Lennon and Brad Guzan spoke to the media before the match this coming weekend. And Brooks Lennon, he said, he was asked, that we basically have we're tied for the most home matches left of the teams that are battling for the 2 playoff spots, the wild card. He was asked how important are these next 2 home matches against Nashville and Miami to getting back in the playoff line, because right now we are in 10th. But he said they're super important. Every season you aim to win your home games. That's key in this league. Our home games at Mercedes-Benz should be a fortress, making it tough for teams to beat us. It's an important week ahead, and we started with a great training session today. He was asked about Alexey Miranchuk as well. He said, super nice guy, really down to earth, a bit more soft-spoken than Gigi at times. He comes from a great family with a twin brother also playing professionally. His background is solid, and his attitude toward training and joining Atlanta United has been world-class. We're grateful and happy to have him. He was asked how the couple appearances with him, how he's different from Thiago Almada. He said, it's a different type of player. Thiago is shorter in stature, more twisty and creative, while Alexey has a world-class left foot, which is unique. When he's open in space, he creates great goal-scoring opportunities for us. We're super happy to have him. And as well, Brad Guzan, he was talking about as well a little bit of the position and kind of the, you know, kind of what we need to do to get over the playoff line. He said, yeah, he said, I've always said that regardless of our position in the table or points, home matches are always important. We know what the Benz is about and what the stadium brings in terms of atmosphere, our supporters, and our fans. Every time we step on that field, it carries extra weight, and we know we have a responsibility to pick up as many points as we can. He was also talking about the performance for the next 2 games compared to the previous ones at home. He said, when you look at the game in Charlotte and past games, we need to put it all together in terms of the defensive and attacking sides of the ball. For those 90-plus minutes, it needs to be together in terms of performance. There have been times where we've defended well, but not taken our chances. There have been times where we've taken our chances, scored a few goals, but not defended well. We need to make sure we put it together. There is, as well, yes, Lennon did speak with the media about the kind of difference in kind of the slight attack here between Thiago Almada and Alexey Miranchuk. He said, from the question, with him being such a 1-2 touch guy versus Thiago, who is so great on the dribble, how does that change the way you guys attack? Lennon said, I think the ball will move a lot faster once it goes through Alexey. He's a 1-2 touch type of player. He likes wall passes, give and goes, and playing the ball into space, which is ideal for me. If he can play me into space, I can cross it back into him. I'm really excited to play with him, especially at Mercedes-Benz in front of our home crowd. Nashville is the first of 7 finals for us. So, yeah, that's definitely the mindset that I think we need to kind of take this as, is these are finals, and we absolutely need to win all of them. And, yeah, as well, about Miranchuk, I think that's, you know, obviously what we noticed on the live post-match fan reactions as well. And if you watch those back, you know, we talk about how the ball definitely moves so much quicker with Miranchuk. It seems like he knows exactly what he wants to do with the ball before it reaches him. He's always checking his shoulder. And yeah, I think that's allowing us to stitch the lines a lot quicker, play a lot quicker. And that's how you unsettle deep-lying teams that when you have the ball, yeah, you know, they are a lot less likely to be able to be structured to get back in time. And so, yeah, I think it's about us finishing those chances that get into the final third. That's really the key here, and has been the key all season. But, yeah, as well, Guzan, he mentioned about the points being appointed, the defensive and attacking parts of it being the point of emphasis during training. He said, yes, that's the nature of the game, defending and attacking. You've got to be able to defend and attack. We now as a group need to go into match day and put it together. Make sure the focus and concentration are there to allow us to do that. So, yeah, next bit of news. Atlanta United 2. They drew 2-2 with New York City FC 2 at ICANN Stadium on Friday night. They walked away with the extra point in the standings after winning the penalty shootout 4-2. Homegrowns Luke Brennan and Efrain Morales each got a goal, while Jaden Hibbert, he claimed his 3rd career shootout victory. So, yeah, definitely Hibbert is showing out in the penalty shootouts. But the Twos will play Huntsville City FC next Sunday, September 15th at Fifth Third Bank Stadium. So that's the news, and we have a little new mini segment called "How Did He Do?" And we're talking about Carlos Bocanegra, of course. He, of course, just made the exit as Atlanta United dismissed him. But we're going to talk about his best moves, or his best move, his worst move, and his most underrated move. So, first off, Carlos Bocanegra's best move without Tata present. Obviously, a little bit different when Tata Martino was in the head coach position. The ability to get some of these players it was just different. And I think the distinction is important. So, yeah, without Tata present, I think Carlos Bocanegra's best move was to bring in Thiago Almada, who, of course, had double digits in goals and assists. Definitely, a player that, for most of his time, maybe a little bit beginning of this year, maybe wasn't performing at his best, but Almada was imperious. A player that, yes, did come in with a little bit of controversy, but yeah, he quickly kind of shut down the haters, and yeah, absolutely was a player that showed his nous, his ability on the ball, his work rate as well, always available. And so definitely, as far as Thiago Almada, I mean, probably, the best player that's, he was able to bring in during his tenure, stat-wise anyway. Worst move. There's quite a bit that we could go with. Obviously, a lot of our U22s, Eric Lopez probably specifically. There are many others, but I think the worst move that he probably made was Jürgen Damm at such a really high salary. Didn't really produce that much. I think produced probably just 4 assists in his entire career for Atlanta United. Did boost TikTok followers, but I mean, honestly, just was either injured or did not produce when he was on the pitch. Seems like a very nice guy and family man, but just did not cut it for Atlanta United. Either that or not keeping Darlington Nagbe, and I think that was pretty egregious as well. A player that just did everything for us, and not being able to keep him, not being able to convince him to stay, definitely was one of the biggest things that's has kind of led to our mediocrity or worse, really. So, and most underrated move. This one's a little bit arguable, I would say, but Justin Meram. I think when he was brought in that 2019 season, not exactly a lauded move by most before he came. But, I mean, he was maligned at Orlando City, and he shut down the haters too. And, he scored 4 goals for us. Definitely some important goals as well. And he locked down that left wing-back side and really did some work for us. And, was one of the pieces in us winning the U.S. Open Cup and the Campeones Cup for sure. So, that does it for How Did He Do? And it gets us to the mailbag. And you guys send in these questions through IG story. Please continue to do so, and we might answer your question in the future. Also, Discord as well. But, first question comes from Greatest Josh Cohen fan. With Guzan turning 40 and his contract expiring, extension option available, should he retire or do one more year as a starter or a backup? I mean, it's definitely interesting. He's been a really great servant for Atlanta United in this, definitely, a lot of, I guess, the ambassador sense, playing wise, decent to pretty good. For most of the years he's been here. I think last year was probably the year that it was, very questionable, but as far as his saving percentage, all that. But this year he's turned it around. He has, kind of been up near the top in terms of, in the top 10 as far as stats goes for goalkeepers in the league. He's had a resurgent year. And making really good saves. You see the gulf in quality in him and Cohen. As far as him on the ball, he's just so much more calm. And if we are to find a replacement or somebody that can be someone that will be the starter going forward, we will need to be able to find somebody that has ability on the ball. And right now I'm unsure about Josh Cohen, but I think it's a good time to probably let him retire, go out, at the round age of 40. If he, did get his option picked up, and he was okay with being a backup, I'd be okay with him, possibly at a lower contract, possibly being that backup to really kind of just be that bench coach to a degree, and lend his experience to his teammates and whatnot. But most players probably don't want to do that, especially if you're a starting goalkeeper, but and especially for so long for the same club. But so next question comes from hold on. Oh yeah, it's not showing up here, but yeah, somebody asked, Nick in the ATL, there we go. It was like completely just hidden here, but he said, if we do move on from Guzan, who do you think would be a good replacement? Yeah, I mean, obviously, I talked about Josh Cohen. Right now, I mean, he'd be serviceable, but as far as the out-and-out guy, I'm not sure yet. I think he would really need to battle for the starting position here. Jaden Hibbert, that we previously spoke about, has been making some good saves in penalty shootouts. Kind of showing out for the twos a little bit. College player. He's a possibility, obviously. I would say that, yeah, I think in terms of replacements, I think we need to probably look elsewhere. And I think, maybe one of those guys that's, either from the Premier League or, somewhere in Europe that, maybe they're looking to kind of get more minutes or, one of those things. That would be, I think, a good move there. If we can convince, a player like Keylor Navas, that would be also incredible too. The likelihood of that's probably pretty low, unfortunately. We would really need to do some convincing or some big money, and I'm not sure we should do that for a goalkeeper in this league. So, yeah, next question comes from, let's see, mystery. It's a mystery, unfortunately. Can't see the names. You guys, hold on. We'll dig into our Discord for that question. Omar3237, he asks, how much player turnaround should happen at the end of the season? Yeah, I mean, definitely we will do that type of thing at the end of the season for sure, but, I think there should be a good bit of turnaround. Yeah, there are some players that I think we can upgrade on, we can improve upon. Some players in defense, some players in midfield, some players in attack. I think, obviously, as well, striker position, it being vacant, DP spots open. Yeah, we can definitely upgrade in quite a few. We need to improve our floor with our depth, and we need to improve our top-end talent as well. So, definitely, we probably should be seeing a lot of turnaround. Next question comes from Austin Stew 91. Do you think Atlanta United will sign Miguel Miron again? I think for the I think we can. It depends on if Miggy and Atlanta United can agree on the timing. Obviously, Charlotte FC, they were linked to Miguel Miron over the summer transfer window, but and apparently Atlanta United were contacted by his agent, and we weren't interested apparently. But I think maybe in the future, maybe in 1 or 2 more years, it might be a possibility. But I also wonder about Miggy's, his attributes are pace, and if that does go slightly, well, yeah, I mean, his value definitely does decline a little bit. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm a little curious to see if that would be the case. I think the likelihood is probably less than 50-50, but Yeah, so next question comes from Josh Hertz 20. Who has a bigger Atlanta United legacy, Barco or Almada? I mean, I think it might be recency bias, but Almada definitely, goals and assists wise, I think has the edge there. I think he performed more consistently for us than Ezequiel Barco. Barco did eventually kind of come good a little bit, but yeah, I mean, I think still lacks some of the attributes that really allowed us to be able to rely on him. And Barco, I think just double digits in goals, but not double digits in assists, and was here for a pretty comparable amount of time. Of course, he did have to sit kind of as the understudy for Miguel Miron for a little bit of time. It was definitely interesting. Very, very interesting. And a good question there. But I think Almada definitely, is the guy that has the bigger legacy as far as, performance. Obviously, Barco, he was here when we won some trophies, but how much he was directly responsible for some of the trophies is kind of a different thing. But yeah, so next question comes from Adam Stanley 96. How much do you expect Atlanta to spend on transfers for the new season? We have a couple DP spots open. We, have spent around 14, 15 for Miranchuk. I think for the two DP spots, we could spend double digits. I don't know if we will, but I think we could at least spend 15 to 20 million dollars more for more transfers in terms of the DP spots, and to maybe fill out the the other squad spots as well. We could spend another maybe 5 to 10 million too. So yeah, I think we will spend quite a bit this offseason as far as MLS, and boy, do we need it in our squad right now. So absolutely, that would be, I think, a good thing. But last question comes from Austin Stew. Who are your top candidates for the head coach position? Obviously, we have been linked to several. Patrick Vieira apparently was a person that contacted us about the spot. Apparently, we didn't take him up on it. I guess in at least according to reports. And so obviously, Garth Lagerwey has hired a search firm for the head coach position, and yeah, I mean, it's also a matter of convincing, head coaches of our project as well. But I've said this before, Sergio Conceição, he formerly of FC Porto, I don't know if he would come here, probably unlikely, but I think he kind of has the attributes for a head coach that I kind of like for our next step here. But as far as I think ability to adapt, a coach that can adapt his system to the opposition, and I think really kind of play a little bit pragmatically at times, but also be a top club in the league. He also knows how to play with possession. With FC Porto, I think it's a good hire if they can make it, but he's a little bit of a bastard. He's a little bit brings some controversy when he speaks on the microphone, so he might be a little abrasive for kind of the league, for the media. We'll see, but yeah, he's kind of the type of head coach that I feel like would be good for LA United. A little bit more of a a head coach that kind of is that guy that kind of is a little bit more of a disciplinarian kind of guy. So I think we need a little bit more of a kind of collective kind of mindset versus kind of what's happening is, yeah, you know, kind of the players are just a little bit all over the place in terms of, you know, they're definitely allowed to be themselves, which is, I think, great, and you know, allowed to express themselves, but I think it needs to be reined in just a little bit with a little bit more structure. So that does it for the mailbag, and it gets us into the match preview. And 7:30 on Saturday versus Nashville SC at the Benz. It's 10th in the East for Atlanta United and 15th in the East for Nashville SC. The last match that Nashville SC played, they played to a 3-0 loss against Orlando City. In the previous match against Atlanta United, Nashville drew 1-1 in May of this year. So, but unfortunately, the last 6 against Nashville, they've won 3. We've only won 1, and we've drawn 2. So Nashville's definitely kind of had our number in the previous years, but obviously they've had a lot of kind of change this past season, and you know, Gary Smith was let go. BJ Callahan, their new head coach, has been brought in. They're, you know, obviously McCarty, you know, departed from their team this off season. Fafa Picault also, but Tyler Boyd, Drew Yearwood were brought in. But yeah, you know, they're this type of team that they play really risk-adverse soccer. They're definitely, you know, more defensive. They are not very adventurous, I would say, in the attack. And yeah, it's interesting because yeah, the early parts of the season, the pundits around MLS, they all said that, yeah, okay, you know, maybe not a banner season, probably a little bit more kind of mediocre, but they are currently holding the wooden spoon. And yeah, they had them finishing as high as 5th and as low as 10th. But obviously that has been turned on its head. So, I mean, yeah, you know, a team that's, I mean, set pieces wise, aerial duel wise, still with, you know, Zimmerman, they are able to, you know, at least be stout there, but they're not a team that's good at finishing their scoring chances. They're not good at defending against skillful players, so Miranchuk should be a player that, yeah, hopefully can have a field day against them. They're not great at defending against counterattacks. And, you know, I mean, you know, with Saba, with Silva, with Tiare, if he plays, or if he starts, I mean, we definitely have some pieces to get at them on the counter. But, yeah, I mean, they're basically a team that, you know, lumps it long from wide, and, you know, they're just, they've been found out. And, yeah, according to the match facts, at least according to who scored, well, yeah, Nashville, they've been losing at both halftime and full-time in 7 of their last 8 matches, and ergo, they have lost their last 8 matches in MLS. And they've conceded at least 2 goals in their last 8 matches. So, yeah, you know, that's good for us. We have a great opportunity to get 3 points. So, yeah, let's get into the predicted starting 11 then. So, Brad Guzan, obviously, between the sticks. Lennon, Amador as the fullbacks. Gregerson, Williams as the center backs. In midfield, Fortune definitely stays in for me. Obviously, he got the winner against Charlotte. Schleich also comes in. Miranchuk in the 10 position. Saba, Silva on the wings. And I think Daniel Rios starts up top here. I think we'll need to play with a little bit more possession in this, and he's definitely able to kind of hold it up a lot more for us up top. So, yeah, I mean, what do you guys think? What's your predicted starting 11? But that gets us to the score prediction. And My score prediction is, I think it's a 2-1 win. You know, the 2 goals that Nashville SC has been giving up each game, I think it shows up again. But I think Nashville, unfortunately, will be able to get a goal here. But yeah, 3 points at the Benz, much needed. Hopefully that will be able to happen. But guys, that pretty much is the episode, except for the question of the day. And the question of the day is, if Atlanta United don't make the playoffs, how do you feel about this season? Let us know in the comments below. Looking forward to what you have to say. But guys, that is the episode there and there. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I've been AJ. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.